Are core values bullshit? In 30 years of business, this seemingly BS thing has made all the difference for me and my clients, but only if you do it the right way. Here's how. Now, you can have multiple companies like I do, and you can have different core values at each one if they are doing different things. That's totally fine. As long as you're the operational leader, though, it has to be consistent with something that you believe, because otherwise you're kind of fighting against this social contract and you're not going to be a part of it. But as long as you believe them, then that is going to be the case. And I'll give you an example of some of my core values here. What you're doing is, instead of having people come to you and ask you what to do, you are having them think for themselves. And if they ask, well, hey, what should I do? And you can say something like, you know what you want to accomplish. How would you do it in a way that's consistent with our core values? And that gives them a guiding principle of how do we do things around here, and how we interact with our team members, and how we interact with our customers. And so what this is putting together this list of items where they can always be thinking in their head, well, if I'm doing something consistent with this, then I'm heading in the right direction. Might not always get the right answer, and you shouldn't penalize someone for getting the wrong answer if they use the right process and the methodology to get there. But they have confidence then that they're making a decision that is going to be aligned with the company, and they'll get rewarded for that. So what do core values look like? Here's an example of my core values, and the preamble at the top there is pretty important. Life is too short to work with people who don't share your values. Here are the ones by which we operate. If you don't love these and live these, this is not the place for you. So it's very upfront that this is front and center what we are looking for. In this case, we've got these: play for the logo, play like it matters, quick moves, clear grooves, say it, mean it, hear it, our word is our bond. I've got a downloadable example of these and others below this video, so you don't have to screenshot this, and there are other examples to help you find your own. But this is the format that I like, because it's got a little icon on the left, and it's got a name, play like it matters. That's the handle of it. Like, you can just say it really quickly. Hey, Allie, you're really playing like it matters. And they know what that means, and they can refer to this. We take initiative, we get resourceful, we do it and own it. We grow ourselves and our team by leaning in and trying things. They know what it means by a definition, and they have that handle, the name, and they have a little emoji. We have not actually done this, but I've heard some companies do this, so I want to throw it out there because I think it's a really cool idea, is they do attach an emoji to each one, and when somebody does something consistent with the core values, what they do is they use that emoji in Slack, or I guess Microsoft Teams, or whatever they're using in the messaging, and they just tag that person with that emoji saying, hey, you lived this core value by doing this thing. And so it really, again, it injects it into the everyday parlance of the company. This is what we're about. So how do you make these real, right? So we've got these things here, these core values, and how do you make them real? The way that I make it real is a area of our website which has all of our team's information on it, like the team wiki, where everyone puts their information in, a little bit more about them so that people can know more about each other. And there's a section called What Our Core Values Mean in My Job. And every team member pulls all of the core values and then writes down what it means to them. How does it apply to their job? This is the important next step, because core values can live as a poster, and that's kind of a thing that is forgotten because it's a poster. It's, maybe they even put it on their desktop, but they don't live it. But once they translate that into how does this work in my everyday life, it changes how it is woven into the company. So in this case, this is, for me, play for the logo, one of our core values, the first one. We play for the brand and what it means. We don't partake in or accept workplace drama or politics. And so what did I write about what it means in my job to make it real for me? And of course, my entire team is doing this. Say, I'm here to win the game with a championship team. I don't care about job titles. I care about winning titles. That is, being the best business that we can to achieve our mission. My role is to coach everyone to be successful as a member of a championship team. So I have translated what this core value means into my everyday actions. This exercise, which every new team member goes through, helps translate who we are into what they do. They can revisit this, and I can go into the team wiki and I can look up and say, okay, well, for Tracy, she's got this. How does she view this translating into her job? And we can have discussions around it. Because if we're all aligned, that we're all trying to do things in the same way, it really bonds the team and it helps them think. So I think this is a very powerful way of doing it, and I highly recommend you go through this exercise, downloadable below with the examples. This is just a piece of it, obviously. You can't see all of it. It scrolls down further, but the download has all of it. So that's the first piece. And the next one, the next segment, is in position scorecard when hiring. I have a separate video on hiring superstar employees, so you get A players on the team. But we're going to go over a piece of that. You use that process, you will see the scorecard in that process. But if you haven't watched that video or you haven't done that process, I'm going to show you how that works here in managing your team because it's a very important piece of it. So the only way that a team member can be successful is if they know what's expected of them, right? You can't just hire somebody and say, hey, you're now customer support. If you don't have core values that you use every single day, you might be thinking, this seems like crap. I don't want to do it. It isn't. The next thing to do is to watch this video right here where I talk about the systems that will help you manage your team easily.